Hello, FB family, Mulishani. How is everyone on every Sunday? So, twaisana kabiri. Lero tutulanda pafika nsafya charo. Defa fe tusambirisha nyeko fe ULUSAMUSHII. Na ne ule mletere ya shirino nebo mwe wachirufya. Voice from Chifwema. Tuli nomusambashi ba lawyer bankole. So to discuss importance ya ULUSAMUSHII. So just share the broadcast at Twambi Treisha. Wankole pusheni kwa bantu.
Twampokerera mwebena Zambia bonse mwakweteko ishuko lya kuranda ganene topic today andapo topic ya mathematics in real life situations, mathematics in reality. I was suggesting that more best decision makers, most of them, 90% of them, they are great mathematicians, because mathematicians in most instances they calculate in all the spheres of life. Should be in cooking, it is important that one calculates the ingredients, the amount of salt in that particular food, the amount of water, and the amount of salad. All that is mathematics. Financial management, when it comes to making budgets, it is mathematics that is applied there. So there is nothing that happens here on earth without mathematics being part of that arrangement. So in each and every arrangement, in whatever that happens, it is part of solving a problem.
Yeah, and actually when it comes to 90% of what a human being needs is mathematics. 90% ya muntu in terms of decision making, it must be mathematics, because maths ufurewa mbukupanga, it's all about kupanga decision, and the decision ili onsenga epota chitapo alive yari kwata ULUSAMUSHII lwakwikisha rulya ku primary barutati long division. So the long division nga mwakebukisha mwebekara charo nga walubana kafe panono nishwaya wala pusha pages 4 taulisanga answer. So ila ULUSAMUSHII lwakwikisha rulya ma stages ya decision making yali. Okay, so epole samu kupanga decision nishina wikisha wino sana. So if I have a life before taula chitechiri chonse ufwide wa chitaka kuleti ama risk ya limo not tulipoza fyamano kuri profit yeka tufure tuwa solve ULUSAMUSHII kubati hii project ndecha ifure ya ni simultaneous equation decision ule pangiri yonse ufure wa bompya mostly simultaneous equation, because if you run the simultaneous equation ipera mansa yabiti ila pera negative na positive. So ufure wa ishbati ichintu ndefo kuchitapa. So okay, on the positive side na la salula no nara kwata starter fint fera inda bwino wara sefia ngatika contract wara kasenda. Now you have to know that no ngatakendere bwino chikaba shani ngatakendere ufure wasuka ngatakendere bwino ifo chikaba. Uncle, decision making in a simultaneous equation.
Many authors of books baitemo ku sambirisha abantu. So whatever decision that you make today determines your tomorrow. Whatever decision that you make today determines tomorrow. Meaning that even when you are engaging yourself into certain activities, you must calculate the advantages and disadvantages. Even before you start a whole, you must at least assess it. You see its merits and demerits. Because at times, you may make certain weird decisions and live to regret another day. So it is important that when you want to embark on a certain serious mission, you calculate the things that are involved in terms of risk and how you manage that risk. Is what they call risk management. Like they say that a gambler knows when to walk away, knows what to throw and what to keep.
What to keep, yeah.
You understand? So it is very imperative that each and every time you want to embark on a certain mission, you make necessary calculations in terms of monetary forms, in terms of njinga, nangomotoka, in terms of the gas that is required, all those things. So being a proper mathematicians by nature, they are very intelligent people, because whatever they do, it comes out of geographic calculations. You understand? There are very few great mathematicians that usually make long decisions, but those that are genuine mathematicians, whatever that they do, they calculate.
So decision making mwewe karacharo lusamushi ofire lusamushi warukarira pancho warupishamo ngatauri sure foot ofire warupitamo foot, so that ngawapangira decision, you are not left with injuries that you might regret later on in life. No kwambuku ukula bepesha bakaere pafintu efewa ishwabu, you know, efewa rechita. So the decision making ngawale fokchaka move, okay, karaka move kakabati kariko risk bana kwata naka kwatenda lama ufure watontunganya pafintu fibiri uiposa fyamano ukuyumfwisha bwino atindara mashara wama narashita chirecho nshakwete narashita inshe nshakwete uiposa fyamano ife wara mfwa bwino indara manga shafuma posa mano na question yako. Okay, number ifinde fo kuchita ngata fyendere according to ama planning mbikile chala bashani ni pese pona alafu minamo. Okay, so royo samush before tawla panga scenario so furo ekara pancho ambo kurupishamo warupishamo ngata ibalance de epo alafu minamo ni pesa. So you find that ngata plan in epo alafu minamo, it becomes very difficult. That's why ngani baraba kabwara ama criminals, baraba ama hardcore criminals wale barasenda n'emfuti. Okay? Kwa dimbi kulia. Wala ngansanga. Yo nala munana finankwe. Inemfuilefe by all means na fumama muri business. Barasenda n'emfuti. So, anything that you want to do in life, you have to calculate, especially calculating the risks that are involved in that activity. And you must convince yourself beyond reasonable doubt that nanguchinga bashani hii decision narapanga tayanshe ukubiyo yaranje ako kusuma. So chirasanga okobo kutira tinga wapekanya bwino idi ngiri ne nanankane. Even when you made that decision ngata fendere bwino but tawafuminini nemo fe munshira, you'll be somewhere. Now, a situation whereby you want to do something risky and then you don't plan for or if things don't go according to your wish, are you going to accept the results? Because if things go against your wish, no matter my results, yara isa kuna damage, and the damage na sometimes ila wako reasonable. So you have to be ready to accept that damage. Senga I say damage, na I say nda. Ngana I say the damage. Sha blame mina wakaede na ba sha riko. Fere wa shof ati I business na lishi bati kuti afika kona hapa. So ati ure funyamo abantu ukula pata wakaede ba yukuwe pesha abantu pefe tabachitire fe wachitire weka. So for example, I can give you an example. The time when I was in grade 5, I requested come nande. When I am class Kanchure. So Kanchure, tuwale afwana sana in terms of school work in ULUSAMUSHII. Tuwale mfwana sana na Kanchure. So after tuwale mbama grade 7, Kanchure fya yaku kukasama. Kukasama kulia. So if we nina shara na Mad Vingston. So apa recently I was in Kasama. Tuwasa kumana na Kanchure. Asa mbrifa kuka business kamo eko achaye na insurance Kanchure. So abena Kanchure tuwasa wewa kwa kutira before tamula chitana nikan tamula kita engage muri business idioms kulafa weke fishing ke profit. So nga ulefo kulanda for example palika ulefo kulanda pali for example insurance follow what to make sure that as you present your issue the facts of your matter must be on the table. So Kanchure aba bali sa mona kwati bali chenjera sana. So if I share rubana, intent ko share pange bisha share rubana. Now, there was a bit of carelessness from Kanchure. A lot of it. For example, ale kishapali business. Limbie na ale munafe kurubali rwakwe. Ulakwe bata yara pita nara kwata mane nara chitashani. Nomba mwewe karacharo we muntu kabumba ngale kwanisha kwa kupera kwa kabunga. I don't think you can still force other things to come on your side. Mino wakulina abantu abochili kwatta bulabu no ubungole kwatta kayo. But anyway, maisha achitana nkani yali sakaba ya wakanchuri kwisa sango kobo kutirati after yakaba tire chipewa lenja yasango ati taishi bine pya kwasuka after bamutapa bamwera ambo kweba bamwera ko bati bachinja bafyati ndando ko bati nebona alimo nga papa ponene chipe mwafunishe nenshi apa pepe nga ponena nani kani apa teti papone no muntu apa teti papone no muntu apusuke. So therefore for example driver plan ushiboko bati yara nkafye. Even when you are doing your recruitment, tetu uchite recruit umuntu wakoba tesa kani atawe banje berefi ati nchite act muri hero apanga papone no muntu kutiafwa mwali mwana ko kana bese
and poor planning and mathematics kai ofuro kustaka kireti kutambata igaraini. You know, life is very fun, eh? If you these days, people need to be very careful. You need to be very, 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 very careful. Especially where documentation is concerned. People need to be very, very, very careful. Because talk about some of cases where you want to look as somebody who is ready to die for others. At times, even before you decide to die, even before you start thinking about dying, I think it is prudent that one has to plan. One has to assess the outcome. Because at the end of the day, there is the input and the output. At times we do, as colleagues or friends, sometimes we do engage ourselves into certain things that we do not understand fully, especially, like I said, where paperwork is concerned. You'll find that somebody just brings a document to you and tells you to say, sign here, and you sign. No, there are some documents that you are supposed to sign on. No, just sign for me. Where I'm supposed to sign, just sign on my behalf, just sign. But what you should realize is that today you might be laughing, enjoy in signing. But what happens tomorrow, you live to regret. Because, okay, so Isanga Mkoti, there is just signature. Now, regardless of what happens, or regardless of the content of that particular document that you have signed on, not necessarily in behalf of somebody, but as a witness. At times, if you're not very, very, very careful, you find yourself standing before court, testifying or explaining why you are signed on that particular document. You cry and cry until you run out of tears. Court does not look at umuntu are official say umuntu like this, umuntu like this. Ignorance, it is not a defense. So whenever you want to engage yourself in certain matters of life, be very careful. And you should always know that you may be called upon by the court of law to go and testify what you know at that particular matters. So at times, it is a lesson to a lot of people, including me myself. I will never sign on a document that I do not understand. I will read through, and if my conscience tells me to sign, I will sign. But if there will be that cringe, say, be very careful. I'm a document if you cannot read or if you don't understand, please ask questions. Questions. Because you may find that you, who is just impending the signature on that particular document, you will be given many charges compared to the author of the problem himself. You understand? So those are areas of life where we need to be very careful. Some of us, we are living testimonies. I don't want to say much, but some of us, we are living testimonies. There are certain things that we thought we were helping in the past, but the outcome wasn't anything pleasing. So, get it from me. Read through the document before you sign. Where you don't understand, ask questions, and people will guide you.
So, decision making, ladies and gentlemen, ULUSAMUSHII we need to work on so much, because if you don't respond on the negative, you only concentrate on the positive, it becomes extremely difficult, because sometimes the repercussions are just too much,
deeper than what you can see.
Because you cannot go mkoti to equate a witness. How do you prove your case? Waranda tino ichichpe bachifunishe pocha ponene bachileta pa police. Nga motoka yayimisha chintu chiri kuisa tapati. Nga motoka yayimisha kufunya pa police ukuletera kunganda. Nisa tapati motoka na namba plate tapati. Wabiko muntu kwe bati narabika tin driver. Uro muntu tawishi beno kushibati nabamutapakale bamwera na lukakale na data. Nala ndati wachinja fati nchitefi adawa itafia chitiki. So it's not, you cannot bring such a witness. So what are you going to do? The witness kumu hutusha. But meanwhile ni shabe ni bachi musenda na basenda information whatever. And then later on, you know the truth, you understand the truth. Umwini na ishu kubati muri mate mwadi awena kanchule mwadi ma witness bang
13.
Huh?
13.
Mwena kanchule mwadi ma witness 13. Ero ibuku deka ena. They are detailed. Almost 112 units. So you discover that we muntu, you knew what you were doing, because nga less of a simultaneous equation nga wakuli negative. Pali negative pena fude wakosa pofi kwa bati nga chabe fichara bashan. You are not supposed to blame anybody. But here's a situation where people know the truth. Avera kanchule fishing kabali fisho. But they would still have that courage to say, in case how do those people come in? Mwabifisha na macho na kubantu. Abantu na bena tabafu kusenda idia kuru wali rumbi bala pata bakaele. Because even the time when you were on Kakanchule, time wale on Kakanchule, bamu trackile na phone.
Oh, he was using a tracker.
Bamu trackile na phone. Kai Kanchule pa first. Alisa tinya ba mwero kwa bati. Ali basana powerful. Amona? So pak fuma ba mwera kuna nikanungu. Bai shiro ubisana. Tabari fano kuipshori once. Bonsi wabiduwa batapile fe. Kwa tifi paso. So where somebody says no, hii problem ndimo abalenga ni abanaba. Where your conscience starts accepting that nonsense. I don't know where it came from. Kubena Kanchuri.
It says, it is a symbol of a weak mind. You shouldn't just look around. Whenever an offense has been committed, you should not be just looking around to see who you are going to put the blame on. Because you find that most of the people, they are in a rush, okay, to look for who to put the blame on. At times, that has made most of us who are in our early 30s to still be behaving like boys. Whenever a felon is committed, it is always important that you sit down, you analyze where the mistake was or where you had made a mistake. And if there is a chance or an opportunity for you to go and make amends like the mistakes. You understand? Yes, I know. There are some mistakes that once they are committed, you can never undo them. It has been done. But the most cardinal thing is to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And once you accept the mistakes that you have made, you embrace them, think about them, and move forward. By so doing, you will never find yourself committing the same mistake. You avoid it because you become an expert. You become an experienced one. You will be able to identify or trace a problem even before it reaches where you are. You trace it, you see it coming to say, there is a problem that is coming. Even before it hits you, you need to start thinking of ways and means you have to write a mistake. That's the best that you do. Do not start wasting time. Start looking around for help. Yes, help is very important, but not at each and every juncture. Help is important when it is necessary to help. You understand that? When it is necessary to help. Inenda sekasana wala abantu wakati ambo kunda no inebali indoa ali kulowa inena ringro kwata sana endala manchikwe nibale but I can tell you para abantu wakwata mind yaso it is very easy kwikatowa At the same time, it is easy kubakabwalala. Even Rome was not built in one day. It quite took a number of years. But the problem that we have is that let us stop the mentality of accusing one another with the very serious and grave matters. We need to prove that indeed this was done by that person, that person or the other person or that group, once you establish the truth. Because by just saying what will happen is that okay, paisha umuntu register accuse if you never touch the proof. You understand that? Varando go ati mumushi mkurunga haluba ero amana amafia chimbu yari white barambo kutsonto ko ati ichi echa lile uli omukote ulia. But the most important part is that let us stop these accusations. Iliashi, for example, Iliashi diefumo. Iliashi diefumo ngali aishi bikwa. Tetu ambo konde matawa iliranda Iliashi diefumo nibade. It is not right. This is because if there is anything that a man, okay, or a woman will never hide, it's a pregnancy. You can hide it days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, but at one given time it will come out. It is a cardinal now that let us not be too emotional. You start looking for who to injure. I think that is not right. I think that is not right. Let us be responsible. When there is an offense, let us agree to say an offense has been committed. If it means for me or for you to apologize, you apologize or try to make amends. Understand that? You can never be right always. That's why kwali teacher, doctor, nurse, that's how God has created us. So we are interdependent. We driver, we enshe boat, we enshe njinga. But let us always try by all means to remain within our reign. And let us be responsible whenever we commit an offense. It's up to me, the state, and omuntu mpunkile. I will not start saying black. No, that is not right. That is not right at all.
Oh, the shower match. Like one of the irreverengat. Kainga ngana kuchitaka kwa accident anywhere. Tulikomoka picture. Okay?
Yeah.
Number where it becomes so strange that there is no picture of the vehicle when it fell in the bridge taken by. Surely, if he was involved in an accident, he would want to prove to the purported boss that the expensive vehicle fell into the bridge. There was no picture because the accident never happened. And then like the other part to say, I find that the accused had the intention to obtain money by false pretenses from the insurance by lodging a false claim of akandara makachi ndikasana. So wa insurance nga baisa achita proof kamani aka oye one foot ngari dia. This the second question I need to answer is whether accused manifested this intention by an overt act towards obtaining money by false pretenses by lodging an insurance claim. So the overt acts by the accused show that they manifested their intention to engage in the unlawful act. It is evident that they could not fulfill their intention to the level they desired because of the investigations. So this person made a false claim, knowing full well that the catastrophic never took place. And then there was an issue of afterthought when he was informed that the vehicle was repairable. He refused, saying he wanted to be paid the claim amount. And then there was deception by issuing the admission of guilt. So looking at the totality of the evidence, accused made false pretenses by lodging in a false claim. So here we can show and then Charande Chakravarti, I am satisfied that accused had the intention to obtain money by false pretenses.
Oh, that's court.
That is court. Limited by lodging a false insurance claim. They manifested this intention by overt acts.
But how was this claim? How was this claim? Was he before motoka yaba accident or how was it? Comprehensive, it's what? It's 1 year, is it?
The comprehensive is 1 year.
And they are saying now he never paid the insurance for the past 3 years.
Yes.
Because he never had money.
Mm-hmm.
Then they are saying he paid within the same month. And the same month not come out.
Actually, I'll be if I remember very well, Fairland. Can you pay pa 5 January 2022.
Mm-hmm. Within the same month.
Within the same month, pa 19 January.
Mm-hmm.
Yapona vak.
But motoka irapona. Tamama kwa motoka ref mamport office. Half of them stuck to you, and Manapona. Many vehicles. Are they calling a paper? Motoka yapona tamama.
Oh, nangufe te motoka kanari monapoine customer ishtaka phone of mavem kusht. Arienta pipanse 2 steps yapona atowek. So if even if you have a motion, you can't dispute it.
But then don't you think that maybe the court was very unfair? Especially that Moon took twice stuff when you have mom shop upon.
No, the court was very fair because you know if we have a courts of law, when it comes to criminal matters, they actually judges bara warning abeka. Kubati if you find chita ndechita according kuri case yo ndero rekeshapo. Okay, so nga mwalaba doubt yonse muri lilyashi lyala ponena the accused. So I have to prove this case beyond reasonable doubt. So when the court pronounces itself like that, you discover that the court will not act on an accusation. No,
yeah, no. Court doesn't work like that.
And muri case ya kwa Kanchure, you discover that ama witnesses bali 13. Where did mwewa Olonkole appear?
Yeah, if you are an accused and we don't have the witness, chances of winning the case.
So nga for that pakuchita pakusumina negative. ULUSAMUSHII friwa rusova. Uruakosa. Okay? Nga kutapwa friwa ishbati inga tendele bunu baka ntapa. Friwa sumena kusumina okay. If bantapirapo nimfishiba. Dhani kwambukula bepesha bakaire ewo tawashimikira pone Philippines. So you discover that fingi fyalengero kwe bati bamona ati bufyu urensha ala ndati fishi. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Actually
warencha talanda sana tafishi bena.
Katushi script ile fa ile mbele script yali yakabamwe. Futi basa sango kwe bati chile chipe cha pone chipe cha Kanchure. Imi piribukire cha piribukiremo. Kwa lwa motoka ya piribuka bati teko scratch yonse. Ama window yonse ali intact. Nokuisa sansa tu oyo pafipona. Nokube motoka taende. Kulusaka bali ya imona motoka ilende batu telefe. Badrene mo fefyo. So even when abena Kanchure bala chita himself, they fully understand very well that the activities they did it ukobeka. So those are some of the things that we're trying to advise, especially when it comes to decision making. Every decision that we are making, it must be backed up by mathematical calculations, so that you must be ready for the outcome. Why I'm saying so is that it's because you are not supposed to blame innocent people when your plan doesn't go as you planned it. Indala mashari wama, but she tufunya kuchinso cha kwalesa nangu tuleshifwa shashani. She's mempia, but she tufunya kuchinso cha kwalesa. Ili ingiri nenga tuwafunya mwempia, nga tuwabika sana mpia pantanshi. Turaisanga ma problem yako bati tatulitana understand weno. But what you must not do is we mwenenga tawaikele panchi wino, tawa planile wino, nga tafendele wino. What you must not do is to accuse innocent people. People that you knew very well that takalifu waishi papope mwende ya shara. And yabena Kanchure muleba mwoneshani mwekana bisu.
I did emphasize from the onset that documents you say do not sign if you do not understand the content of that document, because you never know what is inside there. You never know that you might be caught to testify before court tomorrow. You never know that you might be charged with the forgery and altering of documents. You never know that you may be the witness tomorrow to testify in a criminal case. So this is the reason why I said, if you do not understand the content of that particular document, please do not sign on it. Because you may find yourself in a very awkward situation where you cannot defend yourself properly. Because I am a court here, I tell market, once you are before court ivombana evidence. That's why you can judges the burden of proof rests on the shoulders of the prosecution team. They have got the duty to establish that an offense was committed. You understand?
Yeah.
So initially, the job of the prosecutors is to send you to jail.
Yeah, actually.
You understand? It's to send you to jail. So let us understand these things. Let us ask where we do not understand. So before we come in, I did allude to the issue of the signature earlier on, where I said, ask, what is the meaning of this document? What is its content? Please, if you do not understand, hear from me. I'm a living testimony. Understand. If you don't understand, please just decline to sign, to say, no, I cannot sign this document because I do not understand it. Because you find that you who is just signing, you'll be given more court charges than the person that we are helping. That's another bad side of the law. You may find that you may be given quite a number of cases, surpassing even the guy or the lady that brought you into the matter. Find that but we were just helping. You never had ill intentions. You said, I wanted to help a friend. I wanted to help a friend. But life taya so. Kaya muntu orange bapati ka sacrifice kafire kale chepa. Nangon pamenshi muntu ngapone na kutafura kupupukira atuyo mdozi. Because yokto asashara pamenshi. So kura li la fekumbari yakamana. Na kura mukosedesha. Taya Sambafe wise konoxide. Because to ashara menshi. Fecharo turimo.
Awana ikabaka na bisa. So as we are closing, the can send the gotuma quotations tumo. What is unusual is that Bakanchule seemed to be a lone ranger in the manner he made decisions for the company. It is obvious that the other director has no power to do anything. All the decisions and actions were made by Bakanchure, and the Kwacha Sangokobo Kuchirati so Maria Shiba Kanchule ifingi yabe nebali Shiba efe bachita. So twalisa bachita advise kwebati ifide fida for sana evidence but what evidence chawa mawa sorting afe buno edi ashiweka So now, if you chashira and echide kumalas chashira that uyu muntu formed a common intention to conspire to lodge a false insurance claim, attempted to commit an offense of obtaining money by false pretense, and forged police report, admission of guilty form and general receipt, and had the knowledge of the fact that they were participating in an illegality, and proceeded to prosecute their common purpose. Therefore, they are liable for the offense. After analyzing the evidence from both the prosecution and the defense, the facts and the law, I am satisfied that the prosecution has proved its case against the accused. So, for Avena Kanchure, they know the truth, but I don't understand why they continue to bring innocent people to the issues that are best known to themselves. So, this is why when the accusations, normally abantu bomfuira sana umufi kuchire fishing. So mwebe kala charo nga mure umfuiri ashiku umuntu aleta ukulanda pachibi pa muntu shidipoyo ndero mbako femwira panga decision apopenda mfirma kwa kona kashita kakuya ipisha ula umbe walishita accuse so that wa umfuanga fishing ka ukuchira mule chitashani mule patira mufya bakaere pantu uyu muntu bali patana na ulia na owe bala kupangira obufina opatane nankwe awe bela twingishe nchito bela tuchitari kurut ukupate abo bapata. Stand on the middle, understand the truth, be a mathematician or overcalculate a problem abantu. Be a mathematician. You have to calculate to say if you buy a pesho, if you buy under pari fishing ka, how do you prove that fishing? You have to before tarapanga decision before tarapatra mo kaere. I can tell you nabe ngiba di freedom abantu muri situation yako okutirati baisa ko bafe wamvofe kudu bali rumoko batulia mubi uli straight away you won't even hesitate, you just rush into hating that person even before you could hear the other part of the story. That's why I'm normally especially on the personalities, when somebody brings an issue to me, I have to get the facts before any decision can be made. So that's where now, as human beings, we are always advised to consult. A subject in the data sana, the best you can do is to consult before you respond. Otherwise, when you're not consulting, tukala iletera mafia yako yo kutirati yakala shupo kufumamo, and ayo mafia yo sometimes pakufumamo kula sangu ko bati mwauna kona kandala maka karamba pako ikrina fi ku ikrina kwali shupo mwe bantu thing if at stake in terms of trust from the community yala chep. If you are possible ngakuri jail sentence, you save sentence. Going to jail is not something that anyone can love to happen to anybody. particular where you would see that if you find it ifunde lyali kanya but pali inonshita ifunde nokulanda feda kwena lyali kwa wafi but ichibi before tawala chita kulaba wowe mwine waishi bati chindefu kwamba okuchita chibi nga banji kata ture mfana mwebekera charo ukupata omuntu umfire fyoru bali rumo mwandipatira moto adipatira mabakaede sana so for kuri ba advise inde pera chakuba kuchirati get the facts from the other side. Don't just rely on information from one person. Get facts. Nangure pato omuntu, you should know that about fishing ka. Because ngore pato wakaere, mostly kama is real. You'll be going through problems. So mwewe karacharo, let us embrace to deal with the truth. Let us embrace to deal with the truth. At least with your friends, abantu inabena mpepi. Let us learn to play with our friends based on the truth. Because you cannot proclaim that you love your friend or your acquaintance if you are fond of, they are fond of lying to you. No. Friendship at any level must first be accompanied by respect. Nga ulino mnobe ule sangu ati akari konsaka chitika nangu fya upuba taku chitekera alebe pisha fewe fyonse dionse ufura washi watu yo mnobe taku chindika taku pero mchinshi te friendship yo nga ule angara no muntu wakabati iwe business ule mtu walira bache na business tali kuletera ku uyo ufura wamba kute suspect ule angara no mnobe nga arefo kufumapo mwikara town imoini arefo kufumapo tete akulae na paku ishwa tina fumapo furo watu mafoni yo friendship yo tia ikarafi ule angara no mnobe ngatari na iwe ale kusevanya hawe te friendship yo. So mwebe karacharo palia tule umfuwa mariashi ayabi pali bambiare fumakuri kuba bapata tentule kwata kwenjita yaku ipusha kule kuine udawo ni wale bepesha sangeni we mwala mfuwa ilamu kubati musange ichinka palia mule panga decision. You have to be sure that if he pamunandi fishing if you na koti womba. That's why muntu teta twale ile ashiri yabo fiku court, especially criminal court, a criminal matter, a matter which is criminal, non-political. Because court into ya court, if wayo kusange fishing and the court taibomba pamuntu demu wepeshati mkakeyo court ile wayo fishing if olera nda watana producer if olera nda ponifi not koti ile kuipusha wa polisi wale kuipusha wambo kuvunduka awe tefe enda life if so mwebe kala chalo wankole amashu ya kurekeresha
awe na amashu ya kurekeresha nipa masigine chafu before to sign a document here, you need to know the content. You need to know what is there. Some of our relatives, they have been summoned before courts to go and testify as witnesses because of the signatures. And when they go there, they get surprised to say, me, I was just signing as a witness. I didn't know that if it did so. So, document, please do not sign anything that you don't understand. If you don't understand, ask someone to assist you so that you make a good decision. But if you sign and think later, you will live to regret.
Mwebekala charo tuwatotera sana lero tuwatira sharing akofe pari decision making ULUSAMUSHI. That's why n'abaana bonse abaana tulekwata mando tuleba kosereshako balekwata interest ya ULUSAMUSHI at an early stage, because ULUSAMUSHI ni interest. So abaana tuleba foko balekwata ko interest ya ULUSAMUSHI bantu bala chira ULUSAMUSHI bafuwa sana nga bakura bakupanga ma decisions twatotera.
I quit.